In the heart of a lush, green valley, lay the small town of Willowsun. Known far and wide as the sunflower capital, it was celebrated for its golden fields that stretched endlessly under the summer sun. The annual Sunflower Festival was a much-anticipated event, drawing visitors from all corners to revel in the town's vibrant hues and cheerful atmosphere. The sunflowers were more than just plants. They were the essence of Willowsun, a symbol of its identity and pride. But one fateful summer, a shadow fell over Willowsun. For reasons that baffled experts and locals alike, the sunflowers stopped growing. The once lush fields turned into barren patches of earth. The town's spirit seemed to wither along with the flowers. Scientists from neighboring cities came to investigate, but their findings were grim. The soil was contaminated beyond repair. Speculations ran rampant. Some pointed fingers at a nearby factory, while others blamed a mysterious natural phenomenon. Regardless, the sunflowers were no longer blooming in Willowsun. Despair settled over the town. Shops that once thrived on sunflower-themed merchandise struggled, and the festival, the town's highlight, was cancelled. Willowsun's very essence seemed lost. The once bustling streets became eerily quiet, and the town that had once glowed with color was now draped in a melancholy gray. Amidst this gloom, a 12-year-old boy named Leo stood out. With a mop of curly hair and bright green eyes that never seemed to tire of searching, Leo had grown up surrounded by sunflowers. Their absence left a deep void in his heart, and he couldn't bear to see his town so lifeless. Determined to bring back the sunflowers, Leo made a vow to himself. He would find a way to make them bloom again. He delved into books on botany, soil science, and environmental chemistry, turning his bedroom into a makeshift laboratory. Jars of soil samples, test tubes filled with various mixtures, and rows of potted plants cluttered his space. His first experiments, however, were met with failure. The seeds either refused to sprout or withered and died within days. The soil was too toxic, the water too polluted, and the nutrients too scarce. Undeterred, Leo continued to experiment, adjusting his methods and trying new formulas. He experimented with natural remedies, mixing coffee grounds, eggshells, and banana peels into the soil, hoping to counteract the toxins. Though it didn't work, it was a valuable lesson in perseverance. Weeks turned into months, and Leo's efforts became the talk of the town. Some dismissed his endeavors as futile, but others were inspired by his relentless spirit. The local newspaper ran a small article titled, "Boy on a Mission to Save Willowsun's Sunflowers." Community members began to support him, dropping off gardening tools, compost, and words of encouragement. Leo's backyard transformed into a community project, a beacon of hope. One afternoon, as Leo sifted through another batch of soil, an elderly man named Mr. Hargrove approached him. Mr. Hargrove, a retired farmer with a wealth of agricultural knowledge, had been deeply affected by the sight of the dying sunflowers. "You remind me of myself when I was your age," Mr. Hargrove said, crouching beside Leo. "I once tried to grow strawberries in clay soil. Everyone said it was impossible. But I didn't give up, and neither will you." Mr. Hargrove shared his wisdom with Leo, testing soil pH with vinegar and baking soda, creating natural fertilizers, and rotating crops to rejuvenate the earth. Together, they spent countless hours experimenting with different organic materials, blending compost, and searching for the ideal balance. Then, one morning, a miracle occurred. Leo awoke early and went to his garden. As he prepared to water his latest batch of seedlings, he noticed something he hadn't seen in over a year: a tiny green shoot emerging from the soil. His heart raced with excitement. He knelt down and examined the sprout closely. It was small and fragile, but unmistakably a sunflower seedling. As days passed, more seedlings emerged. Leo's unconventional soil treatments were beginning to work. The plants grew stronger, taller, and healthier with each passing week. Soon, the first sunflower bloomed, its vibrant yellow petals reaching toward the sun. The sight was breathtaking, and for Leo, it felt like a beacon of hope piercing through the clouds. Word of the miraculous garden spread quickly. Neighbors gathered to witness the transformation, their disbelief turning into amazement. The once lifeless fields were now ablaze with color. Sunflowers had returned to Willowsun. Leo, however, wasn't finished. Determined to share his discovery, he wrote a comprehensive guide detailing his experiments, the successes, the failures, and the formulas that worked. He distributed copies to anyone willing to try, and soon, sunflowers were sprouting in backyards, along roadsides, and in empty fields throughout Willowsun. The following summer, Willowsun held its first sunflower festival in 2 years. The event was larger and more vibrant than ever before. People traveled from near and far to witness the restored fields. The town square was alive with music, laughter, and the radiant yellows and greens of the blooming sunflowers. Vendors sold sunflower-themed crafts, local artists painted the fields, and photographers captured the breathtaking spectacle. The once quiet streets were now bustling with tourists eager to experience Willowsun's revival. Leo stood amidst the flowers, his heart swelling with pride. The sunflowers had returned, but more importantly, the town's spirit had been restored. Willowsun was no longer seen as a place of loss, but as a symbol of resilience, thanks to a boy who refused to give up. As time went on, Willowsun continued to flourish. Leo pursued a degree in environmental engineering at a prestigious university, focusing on sustainable solutions to environmental issues. His work was driven by the same passion that had once fueled his mission to save the sunflowers. Though he was now immersed in his studies and research, he never forgot his roots. He continued to return to Willowsun every summer, not just to help with the festival, but also to engage with the community. He organized workshops for local schools, teaching students about sustainable agriculture and environmental conservation. His efforts extended beyond Willowsun, as he became involved in larger environmental initiatives. One summer, Leo was approached by an international environmental organization. They had heard about his success with the sunflowers and were interested in collaborating on a project to restore a severely degraded wetlands area. Eager to make a broader impact, Leo took on the challenge. The project was ambitious, involving innovative techniques such as bioremediation and the reintroduction of native plant species. The wetlands restoration project was a success, becoming a model for similar efforts around the world. Leo's achievements were recognized in environmental journals and conferences. Despite his growing fame, Leo remained humble, always attributing his success to the lessons learned from his early days in Willowsun. Before his departure for a new role at the organization, Leo wanted to leave a lasting tribute to the town that had shaped him. He collaborated with local artists to create a large mural in the town square. The mural depicted the journey of the sunflowers, featuring scenes of Leo working in his garden, the community coming together, and the fields of sunflowers in full bloom. The inscription read, "In Willowsun, hope grows as tall as the sunflowers." The unveiling of the mural was a grand event. The entire town gathered to celebrate, and Leo was honored with a heartfelt ceremony. As he looked out at the familiar faces of friends, family, and neighbors, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Leo's departure was bittersweet, but he remained actively involved in Willowsun's projects from afar, offering guidance and support whenever needed. The town continued to thrive, with its sunflowers serving as a beacon of hope and resilience. Years later, when Leo was invited to speak at a town meeting, he stood before a crowd of eager faces. "The sunflowers didn't just come back because of me," he said, his voice steady. "They came back because of all of us, because we believed in something that everyone else thought was impossible." Willowsun's fields continued to bloom, not just with sunflowers but with hope, resilience, and an unshakable belief in the power of determination. Each summer, as the fields glowed with golden hues, the town remembered the young boy who had rekindled their spirit and brought the sunflowers back. Leo's legacy lived on through the sunflowers, the thriving town, and the countless lives he had touched. Willowsun stood as a testament to the enduring power of hope and the belief that with a little determination and a lot of heart, even the most daunting challenges could be overcome. The town's story became an inspiration for generations, reminding everyone that even in the darkest of times, the light of perseverance could lead to a future filled with promise and renewal.